Good morning. If you have signed in, just make sure that you have your block. If you do have a block, we're going to be working with the blocks for some of the poses today. So we have a few minutes before we begin. And before we begin in a couple of minutes, I just want to thank everybody for participating in this. It's one thing that's good for the library as well as for yourselves to have these programs on live so that you can participate. Maybe it gives you something to look forward to. So we should always be able to move a little bit while we're kind of in some confined spaces, or any type of exercise should be good. So yoga is a perfect way to kind of move your body around. So try to at least take one class a week if you can, maybe two. We are having the Monday, Wednesday, and the Saturday classes, I believe, for the rest of the month. So at least take one of the classes, if not all of them, just to get yourself moving. Maybe it gives you something to look forward to. So about one more minute or so and we'll begin. Just hope everybody is signed on and ready to go. Remembering again to get your block if you need to. Okay, so I guess it's about time to begin. So what we're going to do is start out in child's pose, just to kind of rest and just to explore what we're feeling in our bodies, what's going on in our bodies, and also making sure that we kind of are able to clear our mind. So you're going to come to the middle of your mat and then just bring your big toes to touch. Open your knees as wide as you need space and draw your tailbone down towards your heels. And just press your sit bones to the heels and just take the arms and extend them straight out. Pull your shoulders back. So really press your hands into the mat to pull your shoulders back, to pull your hips back. And then just start to slide forward with your hands as you bring your forehead down to the mat. If you're not very flexible through your hips and through the thighs, you can use a block and place the block onto the forehead. So you don't want your head to be just kind of dangling and hanging out in space. You want to bring your chest down, rest your forehead. And just let yourself extend those fingers nice and wide. And so you want to spread them out as wide as you can. Try to let the index finger and the middle finger try to face forward as the rest of the fingers spread out nice and wide. And as you're here, just keep pushing the heels of your hands away, pushing your hips back, and make sure both the arms are completely off the floor. So get your forearms and lift them up off the mat, trying to really get a stretch in through the lower back and through your shoulders, pushing the shoulders back away from the ears. Take a nice deep inhale here and exhale out through your mouth. So sigh it out. We're going to do that 3 times to really let go of any tension in the body. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale, sigh it out. And then do one more on your own. And then just sink down a little bit deeper. And this time, let the arms come all the way down to the floor. So let your shoulders still feel that they're pulling back. Keep the fingers spread wide. And let's walk the hands all the way over to the right. And as you do, keep your arms alongside your ears. Draw your forehead down towards the floor and push your left hip down towards your left heel. And feel the stretch opening into the left side of your body. And keeping those arms just along either side of your ears, so shoulder width apart. And then take your hands and slowly walk over to the other side. And so keeping the arms shoulder width apart, just drop your chest down, push your right buttock towards the heel, and lower the chest, lower the forehead. Maybe the forehead doesn't touch, but just you want to make sure that you're relaxing through your neck. Again, you could bring the block over if you need to. Keep feeling the right hip pushing down towards that right buttock, the right heel, and then walk your hands forward. Spread the fingers wide, and let's come up onto all fours. Bring your knees back under your hips and reposition your hands so they're right under your shoulders with your fingers continuing to spread wide. Tuck your tailbone under, so you want to keep the lower back from arching. Shoulders move back away from the ears. And from here, let's curl the toes and let's tilt the tailbone up, coming into our cow pose. Let your chest lift forward and then raise your head and looking up towards the ceiling. And then flatten your toes and tuck your tailbone under and begin to round your back. So you want your chin to come into the chest. And then again, curl the toes on your inhale and let your tailbone raise up. Chest moves forward and head up. On your exhale, the toes go flat once again. And you're pulling your belly into the back of the spine, drawing the chin into the chest. And do that again. Curl the toes and start with the tailbone. Make sure the head is the last to move. Once your head comes up, allow the toes to flatten and exhale. Start with the lower back, the tail tucking under, round the spine, and then taking the chin into the chest. Pull that belly into the back of the spine. Return to a neutral spine here. Pull both shoulders back away from the ears. Taking your right leg, extend that right leg all the way back and draw your hip down towards the floor. So try not to let the right leg lift very, very high. You want to keep it no higher than your hip. So turn that right hip down and try to make sure that the toes are facing more towards the floor. So with a little flex in your foot, press back through the heel and feel a deeper stretch in that foot, as well as feeling a stretch into the calf. And then point the toe. So noticing now the shin may be taking some action, getting some stretch here. And once again, press through the heel. Make sure that right hip is down towards the floor. And then point the toe again. And one more time, flexing the foot, pushing back through the heel of your foot. And then let the toes point. Bring the knee back down, making sure it comes right under your hip. And bringing the left leg, extending it back. So try to keep that left hip down, facing the floor. Try not to lift the leg up so high, which opens the hip. You want to pull it down. Flex the slight flex in the left foot, pushing back through the heel. Toes are facing towards the mat. And then continue to push through that left heel, feeling that deeper stretch into the calf, and then point the toe. And then pressing back through the heel, and then pointing the toe. And once again, pressing back through the heel, and allow that toe to point, and bring your knee back down underneath your hip. Now let's cross the legs here. Sit back onto the mat and take both legs and extend them straight out. So both legs are extended straight out. Just slide your right foot in, interlace the fingers around your right shin, and sit up nice and tall. Flex that left foot. And keep your back nice and straight. Pull your belly in. So maybe your foot only comes a little bit by your shin. Maybe comes right by the knee, or maybe you can actually pull the heel right into that right sit bone. And just sit up nice and tall, and then slide that foot in and see if you can release the foot, flexing the foot, flexing both feet. So actually the left foot stays flexed while the right foot remains flexed. Keep feeling that stretch. And then from here, relax the foot. The left foot is still engaged, and just circle your right foot around one direction. Circle it around the opposite direction. Bring the foot down and slide that foot back. And then taking the left leg, sliding the left leg in. So wherever it ends up, it might be right next to your shin and your calf, or up into the knee, or maybe right into the left sit bone. Flex that right foot, so pressing the back of your right knee down, flexing that right foot, pushing into the heel of your right foot, interlacing the fingers around your left shin. Make sure your back stays straight. Feel that left thigh pulling into your chest, and just raise the foot. As you raise the foot, don't compromise the back. Don't start to round or hunch through. Just lift the foot slightly. Flex the foot. Pull that left thigh into your chest, and then start to circle the left foot around. And circle around the opposite way. And then take that left leg forward once again, and bring both hands behind you, and lift your chest. So you're going to face your fingertips towards the front of your mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then lift the shoulders up, and then pull them back and down. So you want to expand your chest. Pull your belly in and opening up through your chest, getting a nice space through your chest, your heart center. So let the elbows shoulder blades really squeeze, pulling those elbows in towards each other, and just opening your chest. From here, relax. Those legs are going to come back in, and we're going to find our way back into tabletop position. Once your knees are back under your hips, palms are flat, you're going to curl your toes and lift it up. First down dog. Drop your chest towards your thighs and gently shake your head yes. So feel your head very heavy, and shake your head no, relaxing the neck and shoulders. So you're not going to hold this very long. Walk your feet all the way to the front of your mat. So coming forward, we're going to end up in a forward bend, taking it into ragdoll. So slightly bend your knees, keeping your legs hip distance apart, and relax your chest to the thighs. Drop your head and reaching for your opposite elbows, and just let your lower back open and stretch. If you have any tension that feels too intense in the lower back, you can come to stand. Never feel that you're forcing yourself to go into any of the poses that don't feel good for you. So always listen to your own body. So you want to feel a nice deep stretch rather than pain. So from here, let the arms just drop down. And we're going to roll ourselves up one vertebra at a time. So really pull your belly into the back of the spine. Tuck your tailbone under. Keep your knees slightly bent as you start to roll up. Make sure those arms still feel very heavy from your shoulders. Keep the chin into the chest. Take your time. You're not in a hurry to come up. So you want to make sure that you don't get dizzy as you come to this standing position here. And once you're standing nice and tall, you feel your tailbone tucking under. Let your chin come level with the mat and bring both arms all the way up to the ceiling. Inhale. Interlace your fingers, making steeple fingers. So you want to squeeze the arms towards your ears, but pull your shoulders down. Lifting up as high as you can towards the ceiling. Pull your belly in. Inhale. And we're going to take a stretch over to the left, pushing the right hip out to the side. So you want to feel that right hip moving out to the side, opening into the right side of your body. Stretching through the fingers. And if you're comfortable, you can even look up into your inner elbow. You want to make sure that you're not rounding through this pose here. So you want to keep a nice lateral stretch. Keep extending through the fingers and making sure that you're breathing as you're holding here. On your next inhale, slowly come up and lift and lengthen through the tips of those index fingers. Exhale it over to the right side now. Letting that left hip push out. Stretching through the fingers. Make sure you're breathing deeply in and out through your nose. So hear your breath traveling into your body. Looking to your inner elbow if you'd like, and keeping that nice lateral stretch. Make sure you're breathing. Come back up to center. Inhale. Exhale, open the arms and bring them all the way down. So taking our mountain pose, bring the big toes together to touch, and lift all 10 toes off the floor. So as you lift them up, spread the toes wide. and then look down at your mat as the toes come to the floor without gripping the mat. And maybe you can see a little bit of space, a little bit of mat in between your toes. Lift out of your arches and feel the inner thighs rotating outward, the hips rotate outward. Draw your navel in. So you want to keep that lower back from arching so your tailbone pushes to the floor. And then just lift the shoulders up to the ears and then just drop them down. And squeeze your shoulder blades together. Turn your palms so that they slightly open towards the front of the room. And just feel your arms nice and straight with the fingers extending to the earth. Gaze is forward, coming into mountain pose. So taking a few breaths here. Maybe if you're able to close your eyes, let your eyes close. And just listen. Go inward to feel the breath as it travels through your body. So we always want our practice to be something that opens us up, that doesn't congest the energy or tighten us up. We want to always feel more open and free of that tension. So if you do feel that you're too tight or tense in a pose, you can come out. We want to open ourselves up. So from here, open your eyes and turn your palms out to the side. Raise both arms all the way up. Inhale. And exhale, swan dive down. As you come down, try to keep your back nice and long. Place your hands wherever they can come, maybe onto your shins or towards your ankles, but you want your back nice and straight. Push the hips back, pull the belly in. Shoulders move back away from the ears. And from here, you're looking down towards the floor. Turn your head to look to the right. And take your head back down to the floor, turning to look left. And once again, back to the floor. And turning to the right, looking to the floor, and turning left, and looking to the floor. So you want to feel the stretch in those hamstrings. Put a slight bend in your knees and place both hands down to the mat, taking the left leg all the way back into a lunge. So if you can't lift the leg, just slide it back onto your mat, and keep pressing back through that left heel, making sure your right knee stays directly underneath, or above the ankle. And then lower the left knee down to the mat and flatten the toes on your left foot, opening up into the hips. Now, right hand comes onto your thigh, and then bring the left hand on top of the right. And just kind of sit up onto that knee, and then press your hips forward as you tuck your tail under. Let the shoulder blades squeeze, but don't feel that you're pushing your chest forward. So squeeze the shoulder blades, and your chest will automatically open up, and you'll feel the space there. So you want to make sure that you're more into this lunge pressing forward rather than completely standing on your knee. And then from here, both hands are going to come down on either side of your right foot. We're taking a twist. So if you have your block handy, you're going to bring it right to the inside of your right foot. Whichever feels good. You might need it very high to give you some space. So wherever it feels good, place the left hand onto the block. Slide your right arm forward, start to roll open the chest, and keep that right knee facing the front of the mat. Reach the right arm up and look towards your right thumb. Deep breath here. And keep opening up through the chest. Try to stack that right shoulder over the left, gazing up towards your right thumb. Release the right hand back down to the mat. And so bring both hands down on either side of your right foot. Curl your back toes, push back through the heel to lift the knee, and then you're going to take your left foot to meet the right. So we're going to switch sides for our hip opener and for our twist. So the right leg is going to extend back. Take it as far back as you can. So send your leg back. So if you have very tight hamstrings and hips, you might be pretty high up, but you want to just try to wiggle as far as you can and get that left knee to really bend over the ankle. And then bring that right knee down. Toes come flat on the right foot. Bring your left hand to your thigh and the right hand on top. And then just come back so that you're standing on the right knee. And then tuck your tail under and move your hips forward. Keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. The belly pulls in, and try to avoid arching through the back. So you really want to find that you're tucking under, making sure that left knee stays directly over the ankle. And opening your chest so shoulder blades pull together. So really feeling that your shoulder blades pull rather than pushing your chest forward. And then both hands are going to come down on either side of your left foot. And if you need the block, you can bring the block to this side. whatever feels good. Maybe it's the higher side or even the very high side. So right hand comes onto the block or to your mat, and take the left arm forward and start to, once the arm goes forward, lift it up as high as you can and just start to rotate the left chest towards the left side of the thigh and reach up. Pull your left knee in. You don't want the knee to go out to the side. So really think of drawing that left inner thigh towards your right inner elbow. So you're getting a little squeeze, a little twist here. Gaze up towards your left thumb, left shoulder stacks over the right. And then bring that arm back down. Remove your block, stepping the right foot forward. So first curl the toes, lift the knee, and bring your right foot back to meet the left. Taking both arms out to the side in T position, hinge from your hips and come all the way up. Lifting up, look up at your hands. Bring your hands to the center of your heart. Follow the thumbs as they come to the center of your heart. And just bow your head, chin down. So taking a moment, maybe you can start to feel that there's an increase in energy. You can feel that your heart rate is increased. You can feel that your breath, or that your breath is a little bit more intense. So you want to make sure that we're feeling in control. Anytime we increase the energy, we want to make sure that we're breathing to kind of accept that energy into the body. And so from here, bring your chin back level with the mat and let your eyes open if you close them. Bring both arms all the way up to the ceiling. We're going to take a step back with the left leg. So when you step your left leg back, you're going to still be facing the front of your mat. You're going to put a slight bend in your right leg. The right thigh comes parallel to the floor. The right knee is over your ankle for your warrior one position. Pull your shoulders down. And same as we did in our lunge, you want to tuck your tail under. Squeeze your inner thighs together and make sure your hips are facing directly to the front of your mat. You don't want your hips to turn out to the side. So it's angling that back foot so that it's more facing towards the left front corner of your mat. Right from here, keeping that right thigh parallel to the floor, just bring your hands in prayer, bringing them to the center of your chest. We're going to spin the hips out to the left. So as you do that, turn the left toes so that they're more angled to the center of the long side of your mat, and bring your arms out in T for your warrior two. So now the hips are facing the longer edge of your mat, and you're gazing down the fingers of your right hand. Squeeze your abdominal muscles, so pull your belly in. You want to try not to be leaning towards the floor. So tuck under and soften the shoulders down away from the ears. Keeping that right thigh parallel to the floor as best you can. Make sure your left leg is strong, nice and straight as you press down into the edge of that left foot. So we're going to keep the lower body exactly where it is. We're just going to give a stretch into the right side of the body. So turn your right palm up, taking our reverse warrior. Lower the left hand down to your left leg. Just let it rest there. Don't grab the leg. Raise your right arm and extend it up to the ceiling. Stretch up. Pull your right hip away from the rib cage, and then just move into a nice lateral stretch. So for some of us, it might just be a little bit of a subtle move. For others, maybe we can take it a little deeper. But don't feel that you have to take it deeper, because if you don't go into the form correctly, you could be actually maybe pinching something in your lower back. So just feel the stretch where you're managing that nice length in your whole body, and breathe with it. Nice deep inhale and exhale. So you want to really let the breath flow through the back of your throat. You want to be able to hear your breath. Bringing it back to your warrior two position. We're going to windmill the hands on either side of the right foot. So you're going to bring your hands back to the mat. Come onto the ball of your left foot and bring your left foot to meet the right. So we're going to take that same series on the other side. So bring your arms out to the side in T, hinge from your hips, and lift all the way up. Stretching up, and bring your right foot behind you. So the toes are slightly angled now to the right corner of your mat, and your hips are staying facing forward. Keep your arms up, and then bend your left leg. If your knee is over your toes, you want to bring your right leg back a little more. So you want to square those hips so that they're facing the front of your mat, not the corner or the side, but the front. So angle your back foot so maybe it has to Come a little bit in more. Make sure that you're grounding through that right heel, so try not to push the heel off the floor. Lift up, stretch the shoulders back, pull the belly in. So tailbone tucks under to eliminate that lower back from really arching. And bring the hands to prayer into the chest, taking it right into a warrior two. So the lower half of your body is going to move slightly. Just the right foot angles to the longer side of your mat, so your hips open up to the right. Arms out, T position, keeping that left knee over the ankle. Shoulders should be directly over your hips, so press down through those hips away from the rib cage. Squeeze your belly into the back of the spine. Soften your shoulders and gazes down the fingers of your left hand. Nice deep inhale and exhale. So feel yourself just kind of residing in the pose. Taking it deeper if you can, or if you need to, just ease up a little bit. So eventually finding your edge, and just trust that where you are is where you need to be. Turn the left palm up to the ceiling. Let the right arm lower down. And as you stretch the arm up, first feel the lift through the fingertips, dropping the left hip away from the rib cage. And then keeping that left knee bent, just take it over into that nice lateral stretch. So you don't want to be pushing your butt back. You don't want to be crunching into the right side of your body. You want to just feel that you're lengthening through the left side. Deep inhale and exhale, looking up into your inner elbow. Right hand is relaxed on that right leg. Bringing both arms back into T position for your warrior two once again. Windmill the hands on either side of your left foot. You're going to come back to that lunge. Your right foot is going to be on the ball of the toes, on the ball mound of your right foot. And you're going to take the right leg to meet the left. Back to your forward bend. Inhale, bring the arms out to the side and T, hinge from your hip. Slowly bring yourself up. Look up at your hands and take the hands to the center of your heart. So we're returning back into our mountain pose. Just the hand position is slightly different from the arms being down. Once again, check in. Notice how you're feeling. So maybe you feel that your heart rate has even increased from the last time that you were noticing it. Maybe it's the same. Check in with your breath. Let your breath be long and smooth. That's why it's important to really connect to this Ujjayi breath. We call it Ujjayi breath because it's that hissing or whispering sound that moves in. It's called victorious breath. So breathing here in and out through the back of the throat, just giving yourself time to sink down into all four corners of your feet. Giving yourself time to maybe collect back to feeling where you're in control. So anytime that you don't feel in control, you want to give yourself time to get that control. And even if you need to come into a child's pose to rest, you can do that. The same pose that we came in at the very beginning of the practice, child's pose. So if your eyes are closed, let them open. We're going to begin by coming into another standing pose. We're going to take the arms and extend them all the way up. Inhale. As you reach up, we're going to take that left foot back again. So as your left foot goes back, flatten the foot to the floor. Turn the left toes so that they're at the long left side of your mat, and you're opening up so that your right heel lines up with the instep of your left foot. Open your arms out in T position. You want to have enough space here for your triangle pose. Press down into the edge of your left foot and engage your abdominals. Pull your belly in. Tighten your right thigh and imagine someone's pulling your right fingers all the way forward. Not down to the floor, not up to the ceiling, but forward. So you're going to feel your right thigh pulling into that right hip, pressing that right hip to the back of your mat. Left hip is moving to the back of the mat as well. So reach and stretch. Once you come down, once you're in that position, bring your hand to your shin. Take your left hand onto your left hip and roll the left shoulder back. Tuck your left buttock under and let the left hip open to the ceiling. Bring your head with you. If it's too intense lifting your head up, just look forward, but keep the nice length through the crown of your head. You don't want your head to be dropping down towards the floor. So lengthening out. And then if this is comfortable here, just stay here. Don't feel that you have to lift your left arm up. When we do lift the arm up, it should be right over the right shoulder. So it should just float up like the wing of a bird. If it can't come out and it's all the way here, or it's forward or back, wait until you get that position where you can roll the shoulder open and the left arm will be able to raise up without any effort. And then look down at your right big toe. Slowly bring your abdominals into the back of the spine and come back up. Put a slight bend in your right foot. Bring your left foot forward as you reach both arms up to the ceiling and bring your hands back to center of the heart. Hold here. So just by doing that pose, take notice. Not judging, just notice. Maybe you found that that was a challenging pose, but you're not going to dwell on it. It's gone, it's over. So that's what we need to do, is we need to be in the moment of where we are as it's happening and then let it go. So creating judgment will just cause us to not want to continue. So from here, open your eyes if they're closed. We're going to bring the arms all the way up. Inhale. Now the right leg is going to step back. So as the right leg steps back, your hips are still facing forward. You want to rotate the right toes so that they're opening more to the longer right side of your mat, and your left heel should be in alignment with that right foot. Open the hips out to the left, both arms out in T position. Your left foot continues to face to the front of your mat. You're going to extend those arms out, shoulder height, and keep the shoulders down. Pulling your belly into the back of the spine, engage the left thigh. So you want to really contract that left quadricep and pull it into that left hip, which kicks your right hip out to the back of your mat. And then reach just to the front of your mat without going down to the floor and without lifting up to the ceiling. So you're stretching. You're feeling where that length is for you. Right from here, just lower the hand down to the floor. Bring your right hand onto your right hip. Tuck both buttocks under. Roll that right shoulder back, right hip back, looking up towards the ceiling. And if that's too much for your neck, bring your gaze to the center and don't drop your head down. So pull your belly in, tuck your tail under, squeeze your abdominals, and then if it's okay, the right arm comes up. If it's not good, keep your hand here. Keep rotating, open your chest. So the right rib cage, the right side of your rib cage is opening to the ceiling. It should not be facing down, and you should not be in this type of position. So you want to really get as much length as you can. And then look down at your left big toe, pull your belly in, and bring your arms back up in T position. And bend the left leg, taking the right foot forward as both arms lift up towards your ears, and both hands return back to the center of your heart, checking in. So that side is done. Maybe you notice one side has more range of motion, one side maybe feels stiffer or tighter. So as you continue to practice, we work through that tightness and stiffness. Be patient with yourself. Yoga is a process, so it's something that we need to do. And if you do it on a daily basis or at least a couple of times a week, you'll start to notice the results. You'll notice that you become stronger and maybe even a little bit more flexible. And so eyes can stay open or closed here, just sinking down into all four corners of your feet. And if your eyes are closed, let them open. Release your arms down. So we're going to take a balancing pose, tree pose, starting with the left foot first. So you want to stay at the top of your mat, lift the left toes off the floor and spread them nice and wide, and press down into the ball mounds of the toes. So really feel not just the big toe pushing down, but really go through the rest of the toes and really feel that pinky toe pushing down. Then soften the toes to the floor, spreading the toes. Lift out of your left arch and place your right heel right to the ankle of your left foot. So let your big toe, the very tip of your big toe, touch the floor, but see if you can just slide it up so it lifts off the floor. So maybe it's just an inch off the mat. Maybe it comes down every once in a while. So bring it down every once in a while. Don't let it stay there. Just try to find where your balance is. Bring your hands in prayer. Maybe that right heel can come right to the inside of that left calf, but never push your foot into your knee. So if it's right by your knee, bring it down a little lower so the heel is below your knee. Hips are facing to the front of your mat with your right knee opening to the right side. Gaze is forward and hands remain in prayer. And just check in. Maybe you're feeling very wobbly. Maybe you're unstable here. Maybe that foot is coming down a lot. Just find where your balance is. Eventually, with practice, as I said, you'll start to get stronger, and you'll find that balancing poses become a little bit less of a challenge. So then once some of these balancing poses are less than a challenge, we go to the ones that are more of a challenge so that we can master them. Bring both that right foot down and bring both hands down. And take your left leg and just kind of shake it out, rotate the foot around, let the ankle get a little bit of space there, and then bring both feet flat. Take a moment just to notice how the left leg feels that you were balancing on. So now we want to equal that sensation out. So we're going to bring the hands in prayer. Keep your navel pulled into the back of the spine. Shifting over to the right foot and just bring the ball mound of the toes to the floor, lifting all those 5 toes off the mat. Feel the big toe ball mound and the pinky ball mound down, and then let the toes just relax without gripping the floor. Feel as if you're lifting out of your right arch, allowing that left sole of the foot to come right to the inside of that right shin. And the big toe can stay on the floor and then just lift it up. So you want to start there with the big toe on the floor. Then once you find the balance, bring the foot up. Maybe this side you have more range of motion. Maybe you've been practicing for a while. The foot can come right up into the inside of your thigh. But this is a beginner's class, so we'll keep it within a beginner's posture here. Keep the hips facing forward. Sometimes you have a tendency to twist to the direction that the leg is in, going towards so with the left leg being lifted, we have a tendency to move to the left. But you want to feel your left knee moving out, but the hips remaining forward. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale, release that left foot down and taking the arms down, shake out that right leg. Rotate the foot around. So from here, we're going to end up coming onto the mat. So bring both arms all the way up. Inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. Bend the knees if you need to. Place your hands to the floor. And however you can get there, come into a tabletop position, lowering down onto your knees. And we're going to cross the legs at the ankles and come down to sit on the heels. On the buttocks. So your legs are going to remain crossed here. So sit up nice and tall. Pull your belly into the back of the spine. Try not to overarch the lower back. So feel more that you're tucking your tail under. Let your palms come to rest onto your knees. And close your eyes for a moment. So everything that you've done so far, let that all go. So everything that you've done has had some benefit for you. Doesn't have to be perfect. What it has to be is that you have to be present and aware of just being in that moment. And just close your eyes and breathe nice and slowly in and out through the back of your throat with your mouth closed and eyes closed. So just giving ourselves a few breaths here in stillness. And slowly open your eyes and bring your feet flat to the mat in front of you, about hip distance apart. Just scoot in a little bit so that you're a little closer to your heels. We're going to roll ourselves down. So if you're able to keep your arms extended, try to keep them extended, but if you really have to, bring your hands onto the backs of the sides. So work on tucking your tail under, pulling your belly in, chin into the chest. Now the lower back starts to round because we want that lower back, the sacrum, to touch the floor first. Keep squeezing your your belly into your lower back and allowing yourself to roll down one vertebra at a time. So you want to feel that your sacrum is on the floor first, then letting the mid-back come down all the way until you come to the back of your neck and your head. And then release your arms down and bring both knees into your chest and just rock side to side, massaging your lower back. And then place both feet down onto the floor. I'm going to open up our hips a little bit. So hip openers are important to really open up the legs so that we can get in, create more flexibility so that we can come into the poses a little easier. So let's take the right leg, just lift the right leg up to the ceiling, flex the foot, push through the heel, and then point the toe, and flex again through the heel, point the toe. As you're doing this, notice the muscles in your legs wherever you're feeling the stretch. Just notice, just this little movement of pointing and flexing, how it changes the muscles in the legs. And then just let that right foot relax and place the ankle right below your left knee. Let your right knee relax towards the front of your mat. Draw your navel into the back of the spine. So with your right ankle on top of that left thigh, you're going to notice that you have a little arch in your back. So if you really pull your belly button into the spine and push your lower back to the floor, you come into a pelvic tilt. So once that lower back is flat to the mat, you're staying and maintaining that pelvic tilt, lifting up the left leg. As you lift up the left leg, keep letting that right ankle stay on top of the left thigh, pushing that left thigh into that right ankle and pushing your right knee forward to open up into the right hip. So we're not using our arms. We're using the strength of our left leg to let it open up the right hip. And just make sure your lower back still presses down. So sometimes we can release that lower back. You want to really squeeze your belly into the back of the spine. Push in a little bit lower, a little bit more, and then lower the left foot back to the floor and lower the right foot down. Just hold here for a moment to notice how you're feeling, how that right hip feels. And now keeping both feet flat on the floor, both knees bent, lift the left leg up and flex through the heel. So really push your left buttock down to the floor. So we don't want to lift the left butt up off the mat. You want to keep that left butt pushing down, so pushing through the left hip. Flex the foot and point the toes, and again, flex and point. Now flexing again, feeling the stretch coming right into the left hamstring, through the back of your knee, up into that left calf through the ankle, and then relax the foot. Place the left ankle just below your right knee on top of the thigh. Let that left knee fall open, moving forward. Pull your navel into the back of the spine. So you might notice right away that as you just push the left leg, bring the left leg on top, the lower back may arch a little more. And if that's the case, you want that lower back to flatten. So pulling your navel in and coming into that pelvic tilt. So you need to squeeze your abdominals to push down to the mat. Then with those abdominals squeezed in, raise the right foot, pushing that right thigh into your left ankle. And you want to just go as far as you feel that stretch in the left hip. So your right leg is pushing in. The strength of that right leg is opening your left hip. Make sure you're breathing. Keep pressing your lower back to the floor, staying in that pelvic tilt. Maybe let your eyes close for a few breaths. Just enjoy the stretch, seeing where you can take your pose. Maybe you can go deeper than the other side. And then let your eyes open if they're closed, releasing the right foot down to the floor and taking your left foot back down. And just notice. You might come right back into that little arch in the back. And then separate your legs until you find the very edges of your mat. Pull your navel into the back of the spine. Bring your arms out in T position and let your knees just draw over to the right side of the mat. So keeping the feet wide as your mat, let the knees fall over to the right, and then bring your gaze to look down the left fingertips. Close your eyes. Feel the opening into that left leg. Return your head center. Bring both feet up, so both legs come up with the knees still open and both feet still on the edges of your mat. Inhale, pull your belly into the back of the spine, and on your exhale, release your knees, let them draw over to the left. Once they're all the way down, turn your gaze to look to the right fingers. Feel the right quadricep, the right thigh, the right hip getting a stretch. Return your head center, and both knees come back to the ceiling. Heel toe your feet together, and pull your knees one more time back into your chest. Rock it out nice and slow. Get a nice little gentle massage in your lower back. And then from here, stop the rocking, taking your hands right onto your shins. Pull your elbows down towards your hips, pulling your belly into the back of the spine. Inhale, lift your nose towards your knees, and let's hold it here. Exhale, keep squeezing your abdominal muscles in. Take another inhale, and exhale, lift your nose a little closer to your knees. Hold it here, inhale, and exhale, lower your back all the way down, and bring both feet back onto the floor. So both feet are flat, lower back is pressing down into the mat. Going to take the right leg and extend it all the way up to the ceiling. I'm going to take that ankle once again on top of the left thigh. So we've already been here before. Hip might be pretty open. We're going to take a little bit more of an intense twist. So open your arms out in T position. Your right ankle is still remaining on top of your left thigh, just below the knee. And inhale, pull your navel into the back of the spine, taking a twist over to the right side. So let your right foot come to the floor. If you have your block, you can place the block underneath that right thigh, right shin, to the side of your shin, your calf, and let the leg rest on the block. And just relax your shoulders, looking over to the right. Make sure you're breathing. So breathe into the stretch. You're going to feel, it probably should feel good to stretch like this. So just remain here. Close your eyes and breathe nice deep inhales and exhales. Let your body open up. Of course, if you feel that you're in pain, come back and you can just keep your knees bent with your feet on the floor. So you never want to hold a pose when you're feeling pain. You want to feel that stretch opening you up. Bring your head back center and keeping your left foot on the floor, keeping the ankle on top of your left side, bring yourself back up. Reposition your right foot down and reposition your body. So you want to adjust your body. Left leg is going to lift up one again here, and your ankle is going to come on top of the right side, just below the knee. Let the left knee soften out. Your arms stay in T position. Pull your navel into the back of the spine. And then just take your twist over to the right side now. Just let the knee draw down so your right knee is pulling into your left ankle. And that left knee is drawing to the floor. Left shoulder stays down. Look to the left finger. And then close your eyes. Once you get into that position, just close your eyes and breathe with it. So enjoy this opening through your body. Nice deep inhale and exhale. And slowly bring your head center and slowly come back onto the right foot. And keeping that left ankle on top of the thigh, just let the left foot release. Both feet are flat on the mat. And from here, let's take the hands onto the belly. So you're going to have your palms right onto your lower belly. Connect the thumbs and the tips of your thumbs together and the tips of your index fingers together. So you're actually making a little diamond shape. And let those thumbs just kind of reside right into your navel, letting the index fingers point down towards the groin. Your palms are on your lower belly. And just let your breath flow into those palms. So as you inhale, push the belly into the palms. So you're breathing like blowing up a balloon through your lower belly. And then as you exhale, pull the belly away from your palms. On your inhale, push the belly into your palms. And exhale, pull away from your palms. Do that a few more times and close your eyes if it feels natural to do that. So really put your concentration and focus on the breath that's flowing through the belly. And then from here, just let your arms relax down alongside you. So we're already set up now for our final posture, Shavasana relaxation. So if you have a blanket, if you have an eye pillow, if you want to put any warm clothing on, whatever you need to make you feel comfortable, you can do that at this time. Take a few moments to do that, and then you're going to lie down with your legs extended straight out. So you want to try and keep those legs open about hip distance apart. Your heels will float out to the sides. Relax down onto the mat. Make any final adjustments, so maybe squeeze your shoulder blades together, feeling your chest lifting and expanding, and make the arms open out about 5 or 6 inches away from the side of your body. Let the chest stay open and just let the shoulders relax. Let your shoulder blades relax. Take a few moments to make any final adjustments here so that you can remain completely still as you rest in your Shavasana. Let your eyes close. And our normal breath should resume at this time. So just let your body breathe the way it naturally breathes. Don't have to concentrate on how you're breathing. Your body knows when it's time to take its next breath. So watch each breath that comes in, letting go of the control over the breath. And just feel that natural breath relaxes every single muscle in your body. Every single part of you relaxes. So begin to take your awareness to the forehead, to the brow, and feel your forehead softening, smoothing out any of the wrinkles. Just feel those muscles relaxing in through the eyes and the forehead, around the whole eye area, down through the cheeks, the nose, and relaxing into the mouth and the jaw. Let your lips gently part open so that you soften the jaw and relax the tongue in your mouth. If you feel the need to swallow, you can swallow, helping to soften your throat, the back of your neck, down through your shoulder blades. Let them melt to the earth. Let your shoulders become heavy and relaxed, allowing the muscles in your arms, the upper arms, to relax, and let that softness travel through the elbows and down to the wrists, the backs of your hands, and let your palms and fingers soften. Feel that breath as it just travels in your body. Noticing the chest and the belly rising and falling. And the next time that you exhale, release all the muscles through the full upper back and through the diaphragm, the chest, down through the ribs, into the lower back, wrapping around the belly. So let that area of your body deepen into relaxation a little more. Soften your belly and let your sacrum relax. Relax the glutes, your pelvis. Letting the muscles in your legs, the quadriceps and the hamstrings, the front and back of your legs, let those muscles relax. Feeling the softness traveling into the kneecaps and below the back of the knees, below the quadriceps of the thighs. Feel your calves relaxing as well as your shins, down through your ankles, the soles of your feet, to the tips of your toes. Let your breath soften your body, allowing you to go deeper and deeper into relaxation, trying to maintain full awareness that you're relaxing and trying not to drift into sleep. On your next inhale, feel yourself allowing a beautiful golden light of energy to travel into your body. And then when you exhale, let that light be brighter, send it through your body as it pushes out every bit of negative energy, every bit of negative thought, every bit of worry, every bit of tension that you may know about or don't know about. Let it go with that exhale. You can do that a few more times. Just feel that light coming in, sending it through the whole body, pushing out every bit of worry, anxiety, fear. Let it move out of your body. And stay in your relaxation with that visualization, feeling how deep your body can go into Shavasana, into your relaxation. Staying here for the next few minutes, visualizing that light and taking away everything that does not serve you. Relax and let go completely. Keeping your eyes closed and not moving. Just notice how you're feeling. Free of tension, free of negative energy, open, ready to begin your day, allowing those thoughts to remain clear and pure and positive. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, moving your wrists and ankles as you begin to slowly come back to your physical form, feeling a little more refreshed, a little bit more energized, a little bit more present. And don't let any worries or things that we don't know about settle into your body. Anytime you find that you are becoming anxious or tense, perhaps just revisit what you've just felt in your Shavasana today. Going back to that light, taking just a few moments to let that light release into you, shine into you, moving it through to let go of the tension and those negative thoughts that kind of dwell in the body in the means of tightness or tension. Just trying to open ourselves up so we have some power over and some control over what we can do about how we experience certain things. So bring your knees into your chest, hug those knees in, rock gently from side to side, just awakening your body, awakening your back. Roll over gently to the right side of your body into a comfortable fetal position, resting your head on your right inner arm, and let your left hand just stay on the floor in front of your chest. Be with your stillness. Be with your peace. Keeping your eyes closed, press into your left hand and gradually allow yourself to come back up to sit, coming into a comfortable seated position so you can face the front of your mat or the screen, whatever feels comfortable. Place your hands onto your knees, keeping your eyes closed. Check in with your spine, make sure it's nice and straight. Check in with your mind, make sure the thoughts are clear and pure. Or maybe there's no thoughts right now, only open space. Bringing your hands together in prayer, letting the thumbs come right to the center of your heart. And let us close with the sound of Om to seal in our practice, to seal in the knowledge, the wisdom, the strength, sealing in what we've gained so that we can tap into it whenever we need to. So having a nice, unique experience is something that you can go back to time after time. So let's close by taking a nice deep breath in, chanting Om. Om. Slowly lower your chin to your chest as you bow to that light and love that shines within you. Know that that light and love shines brightly within each and every one of us. Namaste. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank yourselves for coming, and hope to see you maybe on Monday, Wednesday, or maybe next Saturday. So enjoy your day, your weekend, and I'll see you soon.